Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News. We do hope you had yourselves a very productive Tuesday, and here's a sneak peek at our edition tonight. President Paul Kagame of Rwanda emphasized that addressing security problems at the roots is the only path to achieving lasting peace. The King Faisal Hospital in Rwanda has announced that within 4 years, Rwanda will have at least 3 to 4 Rwandan doctors who can treat some of the cardiovascular diseases affecting children using a non-invasive method. We're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and my name is Martina Abera. President Paul Kagame of Rwanda emphasized that addressing security problems at their roots is the only way to achieving lasting peace. This was reiterated on Tuesday, May the 21st, as he virtually attended the 2024 Global Security Forum. Adam Squizera with more.
At the Global Security Forum, an annual conference held in Doha, Qatar, where leaders discussed global security issues and solutions, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda participated in a virtual fireside chat with Stephen Craig Clemons on the main points that made up this discussion, including regional security issues, with a particular focus on the security in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Responding to the American journalist, President Kagame emphasized that no country should deliberately ignore the insecurity problems in the DRC while attempting to shift the blame onto others. He noted that such actions do not contribute to finding solutions for such issues.
To begin with, what I would do if I would be talking to these leaders in those countries like United States and others, I would start by telling them that they can do much, much better than that. Because in the end, they are really doing nothing. Passing statements of condemnation and blaming this or that without addressing the problem, I think simply adds to the problem, it doesn't address it. So that's what I would start with telling them. And for every problem, there is a root cause. You simply look at the root cause of the problem and what the problem is, and work with the parties involved to address what needs to be addressed, in your sense.
President Kagame noted that Rwandans made their own choices based on the lessons they learned from their tragic history.
We need to show that we have learned lessons. We can't repeat the same mistakes of the past and expect to be better going forward as we all want. So for us, from the tragedy and from also understanding the politics, the global politics and the relationships and so on and so forth, we have made a choice.
President Paul Kagame noted that Rwandan's unity has been the foundation of the country's reconstruction and economic progress since the end of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi.
We've been working together. We've tried to bring the country back together. The country has been divided so badly. People made to hate each other, and that's the life. That is the life and the politics they got used to. But now it is the reverse of that, meaning we've tried to build unity, and it is happening. You can see it's something that is also benefiting from the young generation.
During this fireside chat, the head of state noted that one of the Rwanda's priorities is to ensure that the economy is based on the development of the population in all sectors, including education, health, food security and technology. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
The National Electoral Commission has continued to receive documents of those who wish to stand in July's parliamentary elections. Those seeking to submit their candidature, some of the requirements have proved to be a challenge for them, but also that they are receiving assistance from the concerned authorities to acquire them. Most of those who submitted their documents on Tuesday are seeking to vie for the seats in categories of youth, women, people with disabilities, and the independents. With just 1 month to go for campaigning to begin for the July general elections, local leaders say they are still facing problems of people who have not yet picked up their IDs, as well as others who cannot be located because they moved from their home areas. Officials in the National Electoral Commission people to make sure they have their ID cards with them on polling day because they will need them to vote. Regardless, the National Electoral Commission says no major obstacles have been encountered in the preparations for the presidential and parliamentary elections, the first time they will be held simultaneously. The elections are scheduled for the 14th and the 15th of July this year, and 9.5 million people are expected to cast their votes, an increase of 2.3 million compared to the elections of 2017. The National Electoral Commission says as much as 95% of all requires for the elections have been attained. Rwanda's Minister of Environment has officiated at the launch of the development of agroforestry for sustainable agriculture in Rwanda, a project under the Forest Investment Plan. This 5-year project will be implemented in the southern province and Gakenke district in the north, funded by the African Development Bank. We have more on this report.
The project will cost $30 million and seek to increase the size of Rwanda's forests.
akaba ari umushinga uzakorerwa mu ntara y'amajyepfo muri iriya koridoro y'intara y'amajyepfo.
The project will be implemented in that corridor of the southern province and Gakenke district. I believe that it is clear that when you travel from Gakenke to the southern province, it is obvious that more efforts are needed to plant forests, protect the environment, and help reverse the effects of soil erosion. Therefore, with the official today, to be implemented right away in those areas.
The project is expected to help transform the social welfare of local communities, even help to address the problem of residential areas located in high-risk zones.
We have many activities to be implemented, like developing ladder terraces, progressive terraces, trenches or ditches, where also we are expecting to get the plantation of agroforestry trees and fruit trees, as well as just other activities we are expecting to get from this project. And it will be an opportunity for job creation for the community, the local population. They will get job and to improve their livelihood.
Funded primarily by the African Development Bank, the first phase of the funds will amount to $18 million.
Some teenagers say that having detailed discussions about reproductive health with their parents is very important because it helps them to resist the temptations that lead to many promiscuity, which is the root cause of unplanned pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases such as AIDS. Cedric Irakoze has more.
Omutone Osenikor and Irakoze Pirin are teenagers who admitted that after seeing signs of their bodies changing, they were quick to talk to their parents. These children believed that advices they received from their parents was a weapon that helped them to avoid promiscuity.
She advised me to never go into fornication and avoid different temptations. The first weapon is self-control. Second is to avoid temptations, such as smartphones.
Parents are generally not interested in in-depth discussions about reproductive health.
Very few parents talk to their children about reproductive health, and it affects children because they search these informations where they should not be found.
Religious leaders believe that there is a need for will and effort to encourage people to avoid activities that involve them in adultery and other immoral behavior.
Even if we can teach people to use condoms, which is good and a form of protection, but it can't protect you all diseases. So the sustainable way is to avoid sexual relations in general.
In order to continue fighting teen pregnancies and at times infections of sexually transmitted diseases, cooperation between different institutions is necessary as confirmed by the CEO of the non-governmental organization Happy Family. We need to cooperate so that we can save our young generation together to against teenager pregnancies, HIV and sexual harassment through educating them. Sub-Saharan Africa has far by highest rates of HIV, teenage pregnancies, and other issues related to gender-based violence. 3 out of 4 people between ages of 15 and 19 who are infected by AIDS are teenagers, while 7 out of 10 teenagers do not have knowledge about HIV or AIDS pandemic. Cedric Rakoze, RTV News.
The King Faisal Hospital in Rwanda has announced that within 4 years, Rwanda will have at least 3 to 4 Rwandan doctors who can treat some of the cardiovascular diseases affecting children using a non-invasive method known as catheterization. Currently, Israel's team Save a Child's Heart is undertaking these procedures in Rwanda. Olive Nente has more.
Yasina Nyiransengimana, a mother of 3 children who lives in Gasabo district, Kimirongo sector, says that she found out that her little one has a heart problem when she was 2 years old. The child's condition required advanced surgical treatment, but she's now treated with a non-invasive technique known as catheterization. It is an act that satisfied the mother because her child recovered well. She would always be sick. Every month, we would have to go to the hospital and they would tell me that it might be pneumonia. However, after various medical examinations, it was proven that she has issues with her aorta. It was hard for me since she was always sick and we would have to go to the hospital once a month or once every 2 months. But now I'm happy because my child is cured and we no longer have to go to the hospital. I don't know how to explain it. On the other hand, Aline Uwizeyimana is a mother who has a child with patent ductus arteriosus, a persistent opening between the 2 major blood vessels leading from the heart. The child was diagnosed with the disease at 6 months old, and now she's 4.5 years old. She's on the list of children that are about to undergo the catheterization cardiac interventions, and her mother says that she's content that her child will be cured. I'm so happy. In fact, I'm overwhelmed with joy because when I gave birth to this child, they were twins, so I was scared that I would lose her due to this condition. But today, I have hope that she will survive. These are among the 24 children who were treated with the help of catheterization procedures through the Save a Child's Heart program, a regular program of a group of doctors in Israel in collaboration with the government of Rwanda that aims to establish a pediatric cardiac program in Rwanda. Currently, there is no doctor in Rwanda who specializes in treating some of the heart diseases using this method of catheterization, but there are those who are being trained in this program. Dr. Misago Gerard is one of them.
As a pediatrician, I am well aware of the various health problems that hinder the well-being of children, especially cardiac diseases, which are particularly prevalent in our community. I hope that after completing my courses, I will be able to return to Rwanda and contribute to treating pediatric cardiological diseses. It would bring me great joy to see most of our Rwandan children receiving the necessary treatment within our country.
At least $15,000 are needed per child to receive treatment about cardiac diseases in Israel, including medical costs and other related costs. Vivian Jibas, board president of Save a Child's Heart in the US, notes that most of the funds are from donors.
Anywhere from, traditional, dinner type events to walkathons to sports tournaments and events. And we have donors of all ages and from young teens who have really seen this as a priority and work and have a passion to be able to support the life of one child.
The Save a Child's Heart program has been working with the government of Rwanda for 17 years now. When it started, the MOU was to send children with heart diseases to Israel for treatment, But now they train Rwandan doctors and provide treatment services to children, both open heart and catheterization procedures. Simon Fisher, the executive director of Save a Child's Heart program, points out that the goal is to train more doctors who can provide these kind of interventions to treat more children in need of these services.
This week we have also met here in Kigali the candidate who will be coming to Israel for 4 years training in pediatric cardiac surgery. So the idea of Save a Child's Heart here in Rwanda is to help with capacity building, to train as many as we can doctors in Israel, but also during visiting missions here, and to treat children by way of catheterization here in Rwanda, and more complex cases by way of open heart surgery in Israel. I mean, to date, our program has treated, I think we're talking about more than 150 Rwandan children, and our hope is that within the next few years under this MOU, thousands of Rwandan children will benefit from the program.
According to the chief medical officer at King Faisal Hospital, within 4 years, Rwanda will have at least 3 to 4 Rwandan doctors who can treat some of the cardiovascular diseases affecting children using an invasive method known as catheterization.
I think we have been, as King Faisal in Rwanda, we have been hosting missions in different domains or specialties, not only in cardiac but in others. So the shift now is to not to have missions only. Missions means people who come, operate or treat and then go. So we have introduced a program of skills transfer, meaning that in the agreement that we get with these partners, we make sure that we incorporate the skills transfer and training programs. As you may witness, these experts came with Rwandan doctors who are following a training in Israel. So we think that if every single partner participates in the training, I think it will help us to increase our trained doctors. And I always say health.
The procedures of catheterization were initiated in Rwanda 3 years ago. Since its inception, between 100 and 150 children have received this treatment from various specialists. Olive Nete, RTV News.
And on that note, on behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, we'd like to thank you very much for sticking with us on RTV News. My name is Martina Avera. Stay safe and have a great night.